Hey guys, so our schedule for teachers changed a little bit on Friday. So I'm not going to be holding our normal afternoon meetings like I said I would. So instead, I've made a video here that I am going to use to give you the same information I would have given you on Friday, but now you get to watch it on your own time and you don't need to show up on Friday for our meeting. So the main thing that we need to talk about is the fact that yes, this is a 3-day weekend, but next week we return to our hybrid schedule. And so what does that mean? So first off, keep in mind, what group were you in? Hybrid A was if you were last names A through K. That meant you were Monday, Tuesday in building, Wednesday through Friday you were online. Hybrid B was last names L through Z. That meant Monday, Tuesday, and Friday you're online because Wednesday and Thursday you were in the building. Core, you're online every day, right? Monday through Friday. The key to this is whatever you were like before Thanksgiving, before we shut down, before we went fully virtual for all of this time, whatever you were earlier is what you still are. So if you want to make a change, you can't just show up or not show up as you want. You have to make sure that you are doing the proper channels to get that accomplished. So if you want to change from being hybrid to being core, meaning you don't want to come to the building at all, you want to continue to stay home all 5 days, you must complete and turn in the appropriate paperwork. It is on the district website, but that needs to be turned in before you are free to stay home every day. Otherwise, for attendance purposes, you are expected to be in the building on your assigned days. If you want to change from core to being hybrid, meaning you don't want to stay home every day anymore, it isn't working for you, or you just really need to see other people, and you want to start coming your 2 days a week, you need to contact your guidance counselor or your principal about making that change so that your attendance will be entered appropriately and you are held accountable for those 2 days that you are expected to be in school. I know there is a handful of you out there who were coming 4 days a week because of being in a particular circumstance. If that was in place before, it should still be in place. You may want to check with your guidance counselor, principal, case manager just to verify, but that is staying in place if that was something that was given to you. Coming 4 days is not an option for everyone, so that's not something that's changing at this time. One other thing that we need to make very clear is that there is a slight change to the class schedule compared to what we've been running for the last several weeks. Okay? Our class schedule is having to go back to our bell schedule because obviously we will have people in the building, so we need to make sure that we are running the same schedule. So on your screen there, and it's also in the email I'm sending you, is the class schedule that we run in the building, okay? Homeroom is going to be in person only. You won't have the online homeroom. The other period to keep in mind is that period 43 or period 5, whichever one you have, that's where lunch is located. And so that is dependent upon the class you're in. Some people eat lunch first, have a full class. Some have a full class and then have lunch at the end. And some, like those of you who have me that period, we eat lunch in the middle. So that's a class, especially if you're a core student, that you're going to need to know sort of what's going on, okay? You'll see a couple notes there on the right-hand side. A couple changes other than just the times are tweaked just a little bit because classes are going back to being 45 minutes long. There's only 5 minutes between classes. Our virtual schedule had 10 minutes in between. So if you're going from class to class while at home, make sure you're doing so as quickly as possible because there's only technically a 5-minute class change. Live lessons for those students who are online is a teacher by teacher decision. It is not something that is blanket across the board. Some teachers might still be doing every day. Some teachers might be doing only particular days you're going to have to know what's happening in each of your classes. The support period at the end of the day, when you're an online student, it is not considered a required time. It is time that you can make arrangements to go see and talk with your teachers if you're having problems. That's when a lot of office hours and things of that nature are held. If you're in building, remember you report back to your homeroom for that time, and it's your study hall time. Okay? So ultimately, we need to take all of this sort of general information and what does that specifically mean for my classes? So if we're talking specifically for my class, live classes are going to continue daily on our new adjusted schedule back to the bell schedule. So I will be teaching every day on Teams, just like I have been for the last several weeks. What that means is if you are in building, you'll be sitting at your desk in my room. You'll be watching me do everything on the smartboard. You'll be here to actually participate in the lessons in terms of answering questions, asking questions, all of those things. If you're at home, you're going to log in through Teams. You're going to see my smartboard just like you've been seeing it for weeks. You'll still hear me. You may hear your classmates in the room ask or answer questions. You're still welcome to participate via Teams in terms of unmuting to ask or answer questions yourself, but you are able to come and join for those live classes each day, okay? Attending class in person or online while I'm doing the notes for our scheduled time period counts as credit. If you do not attend class in one form or another, you will be required to do the Ed puzzle that is posted online. Okay, all of our assignments are going to continue to go through Canvas. It's easiest just to keep that consistent because it is still the fact that COVID is still out there. We could still close at any moment and go back to our fully virtual schedule. So I'm trying to keep things as consistent as possible. Consistent live lessons that you can log in when you're at home. Consistent assignments going through Canvas. If we have a test or a quiz and you are in person in my classroom, you will complete that test or quiz on paper. We'll say old school, even though that's the normal way of doing things. If you are at home or online during a test or quiz, you will complete it via Canvas. I am going to have you log in for class though, like we've been doing these virtual days, so that your test or quiz is scheduled at the same time that it should be. That's going to keep things consistent in terms of how long you have and things like that. So the last thing that I do want to talk about today then is what is specific for your class. So for Algebra 1, we want to look at just what's happening next week. So we did finish Unit 4 this week. We took the test. That is finishing not only the unit, that is finishing the marking period. And so when you guys come back on Tuesday, we are starting fresh. So remember, it is a 3-day weekend. You have no school on Monday. We are going to start Unit 5 this week. I did mail home Unit 5 packets. They would look something like this, okay? So hopefully that's arrived. It might still sort of be in the mail coming this weekend. If you're a hybrid student, I have extras and I can hand one to you when you come to class on Tuesday or Wednesday if we need to. If you're a core student, again, it should be coming. If it doesn't show up in the next, few days, like if it's not there, say by Wednesday next week, please let me know. We can always make sure that one gets to you. So Monday, there's no school. And basically Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're just going to take care of the beginning of the unit. We're going to look at what does it mean to have something in factored form? What is a GCF and an LCM? On Wednesday, we're going to actually factor that GCF out of various items. And on Thursday, we're going to use our GCF to do what's known as factor by grouping. And basically, this whole unit on factoring, guys, is taking what we did in the last unit with our multiplying of polynomials and sort of going backwards. And so you'll see what I mean by that next week. Friday, we will have our normal Friday meeting next week. I will see you at 12:25 on Friday, and we will go from there, okay? So that is what's most important. If you want to change whether you are core or hybrid, you need to contact the appropriate people. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing some of you back in person, have actual faces, hear actual voices. But whether you are in my classroom or you are at home, you will be able to view, see, hear me do the lesson live during class. You'll be able to participate by asking and answering questions as you need to. And so hopefully that is something that is helpful to you guys as we continue this year, that that option is now going to be available to you on a daily basis. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you guys. I hope you enjoy your 3-day weekend, and we'll get back into the swing of things, hopefully. See you next week.